Right guys, how's it going? Today Bless Online had its update with a change of tactics for every class, but I'm going to talk a bit about the ranger tactics. Personally, I've always used just range tactic and snipe tactic, as you can see, so not much has changed. They have added the rain of arrows, however, to the range tactic, so that's pretty interesting. I actually think that's pretty cool, as it's going to open up some nice tricks in certain dungeons and PvP scenarios. The snipe tactic also had an explosive change, with the explosive trap added to it. But with all this, to me personally, it just makes the swift attack tactic pointless. Same goes for the focused attack tactic. I'm not really a big fan of it either. So for dungeons, I'm going to remain using range tactic and the snipe tactic. For the non-chain skills, I usually have the normal dodge in one of the tactics, and for some dungeons I use the backwards leap. That's the only difference I have. I've always used my hunting traps, my nerve wreck for damage. That's the usual thing for PvE. Also high angle for certain dungeons. For dungeons, my abilities tree is just pretty simple, as you can see. There's not much going on for it. On both tactics, just the dodge and the resistance is the only difference. But we're here to talk about the new survival instinct tactic. Now, I haven't had much time to toy around yet with the game, but looking at it, it looks pretty interesting. The safeguard leaves a little arrow on the ground that also boosts you while you're in range, which is pretty cool, so I pretty much maxed its fighting power. I'm going to be having a lot of fun experimenting on these tactics in the coming days. Also on the silencing arrow, I just prefer to have it increase the silence duration, as that might be clutch. On the tactic itself, I just increased the dodge ratio. So, when you use the safeguard, you can then pull back to it if you're within 25 meters of range. So if you use the silencing arrow chain into fire, into position movement, you'll get pulled back into it and you'll be immune to CC during this, which is pretty awesome. When you use the silencing arrow in the first shellfire, you get knocked back, which is really good for positional sake, but the second one is where it gets interesting. It reduces the amount of concentration consumption of all your skills by 5 for 3 seconds when a critical hit is made. So basically when you chain another skill right after it, it's going to be pretty explosive. For example, you could go into the poison arrow, into acid arrow, and then a venomous explosion to get that max stack. Usually I just use the normal dodge, but I'm going to be experimenting the leap backwards as well, just for the sake of it, as this tactic is more mobile. I might be able to just pull it off. I'm used to the normal dodge because I like to be in a fight, but leaping backwards might be a good idea, now that you have the other chain skills, the safeguard, and the position movement to get back in place. On my nerve wreck, I've gone for the silence, because now that this tactic uses silence, the nerve wreck, it made sense to want to increase the stun duration. So that's what we're doing. In abilities is the key difference. For PvP I added the PvP damage enhancement. It gives 5% PvP damage boost. It's too much to let go of. Disclaimer, this might not be the best build setup, and I do have a lot of spare points, so I just go with whatever I felt was good, and I'm just going to be experimenting a bit in Bless with the new ranger tactic. I hope you guys have fun with your classes, and stay tuned for more content in the near future. I'm sorry I can't go more into depth to this, but I have a really bad sore throat today and I really can't do it. Peace out guys, and have a great time and bless!